Yay, made it on here. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to 50 Questions Friday for October 24th of 2025. Yay, looks like we got audio, video, and hello, everybody. Hey, Linda from SoCal, and Christine from Oz. Hey, Renee from Texas. Glad you're here today. So, gosh, yeah. Welcome to the end of October. Hey, we might actually be able to do a Halloween special next Friday. So let's see. Gosh, where to go? Hey, Carly. All right. So let's see where to begin. Well, we're getting closer to getting Twisted Sage back online here. At least we have admin access back to our website. We still don't know what's going on, all the things, but we're closer. And then, too, yesterday we have our Twistedsage.com, that website. It's now faster. You can actually make it through checkout. So, gosh, we do ask if you were looking to order anything, please do check out Twistedsage.com. And we got quite a few products on there. Except for the rainmakers. I know I showed you guys this rainmaker last week. I've already sold all the rainmakers already, so I got to make more to even fulfill orders. So, and this is the large size. Kind of like it with the shungite. But anyway, the two rainmakers, I'll get them listed here this week, and they'll be on pre-order, but we should have them, depending on how many get pre-ordered, we should have them ready to go by the end of next week. So, yes, for sure. So by the end of next week, you should be able to access the Rainmaker webpage because we don't have it up yet. But let's see. Also, the new activator shungite as well. So yeah, the new activator, it's made with a golden fire sphere, so it does have that larger sphere of influence. Usually with the activators, there's like two different fields. There's one that's more potent in a smaller field, probably like 100 yards across. And then there's the larger sphere that's more, it's a little bit of different energy. It's more of just kind of like that golden light energetic that will restructure electromagnetics, crossover, ghosts, all that fun stuff. I was just seeing if I had a shade here or not. So anyway, yeah, the new activator will also be listed here later this week, perhaps this weekend. Don't have the minis yet, but we do have the activator. Gosh, what is this? 4.0, I think. So this has also it has the golden light, the new light, and the light field. So it has all three of the new energetics that we're working with, all available within the activator. So pretty fun tool. All right. Ancient Atlantean tool, actually, the activator. That's kind of cool. Okay. So sorry, just doing some new product stuff here right now and just talking about some products. So this is our standard light field practitioner ring. We have the standard and we have the heavy duty. Now, even though the fields, the energetics is the same in these two rings, but it translates differently. It transfers differently into this realm, I guess you would say, into the physical. Because the light gauge one, I was running over somebody at a holistic fair last weekend, and it was pretty wild because we ran the smaller gauge ring over him, the standard gauge of the 23-inch light field. And it was really cool because there were some entanglements that were starting to untangle within like the heart area, and then another one in another part of the body. And, it was really cool. He could feel the shifts and I could see what was happening. And so that light gauge ring was pretty grand. But then we ran the heavy gauge 23-inch light field over him. And that entanglement, that energetic entanglement within that heart area and the other one more in the abdomen, as we ran that ring over him, they completely released and came to wisdom. It was pretty fantastic to see. Um, so now on the description for the practitioner rings, we have the heavy gauge one as the one for, doing the work, for running the rings, for, actually doing the work that practitioners do, whether you're just creating a space for yourself to be, or you are, some people as practitioners will use the rings like underneath their tables, because then it helps to get the client clear, grounded, centered, all the things, so that the client can then utilize their modality easier and quicker and better. Um, and then, of course, some people just use them for the modality itself, the rings. So the heavy gauge ring is for that. All right, so just released is the 26-inch golden light. Man, I love this ring. I just got a chance to play with it yesterday. Yeah, this 26-inch golden light is pretty amazing. Again, that's the updated golden fire energetic. Hey, Larry from Michigan. Glad to see you here today. So yeah, the new golden light ring is pretty fantastic. I really like this one. It's gentler, it's smoother. Haven't really done too much of a reading on this. Like I say, yesterday was the first time I got to play with it, but it just feels good. I mean, as I was playing with Mary in the studio with it yesterday, and we were running all the rings, to me, this one seems to be more in the physical plane. It seems to be more calming. It's just a feel good energy. But I really like this new golden light energy, because that's also in those 1.25-inch tensor field generators that we have. And man, those things are fantastic too. Those little tensor field generators. The 1.25 golden lights. But yeah, so the 26-inch ring, this one's now available. There'll probably be, if anybody orders one today, that you might get one Monday shipped out. Depends on, I have a radionics conference that I'm going to be set up all day at tomorrow, the radionics for the masters, and it's I'm kind of guessing that I'm going to sell all my stock up there for big rings and for everything else. But anyway, definitely these are available next week. You can order anytime, and we'll get some rolling here if we don't have them on hand. But yeah, really like this 26-inch golden light. It's just a nice feel. But again, if you want to get in and do the work and really connect, the light field, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. This is one that you could actually sleep with, I feel, and it would feel nice. So anyway, hey, Connie from Wisconsin. Hey, Stephen from Atlanta. Good to see you both here. All right, so let's see. Anything else? I guess we better move on to questions, because I don't have anything else as far as announcements go, or new products or anything. Oh yeah, we're working on the rings for the smaller floor plate. What is it? The 15-inch floor plate. And it's going to be the same as the larger floor plate that has the Metatron's cube in it, the 13 rings in the center. So is that how many there was? Yeah, I think so. So anyway, that Metatron's cube is going to be in that 23-inch floor plate that we have, which, by the way, are still on sale, and you have one more week to purchase those and get a free practitioner's ring with it. Otherwise, we'll be making the 15-inch plate. And of course, we had to do a time study to find out how much those ones are. So let's see what else. I think that was it for new tools, new releases. Yeah, we got a few other things, but we're waiting to be able to purchase silver to start some of the new silver energetics and the silver pendants. Um, and those will be coming here soon. We've because yeah, we've been locked out of our Twistedsage.com for 3 weeks now almost, and haven't received all of our payments and all the things. So as soon as we're back stabilized again, we'll be bringing through a lot more silver pendants and such. So anyway, and again, we always appreciate your support in the meantime until we are back rolling in full force again. All right. So let's see. Yeah, if anybody has any questions here, please do drop some questions on the chat tab. Otherwise, I'm just taking that deep breath. I tell you what, this week has been a pretty phenomenal week. Gosh, Wednesday was so in the flow. We might do something here at the end, like a meditation style thing. But it's going to be kind of reserved for those who truly know that everything is your energy and that your energy is here serving you, and how to realign with your light and your energy so that it begins to pattern in a different way. Yeah, I mean, I've had some pretty amazing experiences this week with this thing that we're doing in one of my classes. Not that I'm teaching, that I'm taking with the Crimson Circle, Adama St. Germain. In our yearly Keyhawk class, we're doing this thing called Claiming the Field. And it's a pretty amazing thing of just claiming, because it's the mentalizing of the whole concept is, yeah, everything is your energy. It's here to serve you. Your energy's patterned through your light, your consciousness. And that patterning can be everything from the old distortions and echoes to just the purity of you. I mean, it's the full spectrum, as we all know, because it is the life that you live. It's the experiences you have. And that is your energy being patterned by your light, your consciousness. And so as we step into this concept of claiming your field, it takes it from a mentalized thing into a true feeling, knowing, experiencing thing. And that really is huge. So we'll probably do that here at the end after we do some questions and such here. Hey, Stephen. First time here. Which carries the most expansive light field, copper or silver? Um, so in the newer energies, the silver the silver is my go-to. I mean, like the light field coils in silver. It is the silver coils are just, if the last energetic step that we took, I described it as a little bit of a crisper, cleaner field. But, in this newest light field energetic, I almost feel the silver coils for the small and the large light field coils are a little bit beyond. There's just something more to them. And I don't want to dissuade anybody from getting the copper brass or the copper light field coils, small or large, because they are still grand and they hold, again, it's kind of the concept that we talked about here with the heavy gauge and the light gauge rings, is that they both hold the same energetic field, but it's kind of like the access point to it. Gosh, I don't even know. My apologies. I'm not even certain how to really explain that. To me, it's just, again, the silver in the newest light field energetic just seems more. But then, like the light field wands, and so I mean, it's going to also vary with the tools, because like the light field wands in the copper and the silver. the copper one seems more potent to me. And I guess that's kind of another way to look at the copper and the silver and in any of the newer energetics is that the copper is almost more tangible on the physical. I mean, I feel like this copper master's wand is more potent. And I used it for, probably 6 weeks before I switched to the silver one, the full size light or master's wand. Um, the silver one, it was more expansive, I feel, but it's in different realms that are really hard to perceive with the human mind. And so you can see and feel and know that there's something more to that field, but it's really hard to cognize what that is. Um, yeah, Stephen. Yeah, the silver, man. There is something about the silver. Yeah, and that's that's what we tell everybody on looking at the copper and the silver and doing the comparisons is really truly just feeling into it. And that's something that we're going to reiterate more and more as we keep building our new websites and everything is just the concept of really feeling into things for yourself, through the photos. It's kind of like the gateway to feel into, the energetics anchored into the photos. And when you feel into the photos, it's not exactly the photo you're feeling through the photo to the energetic. Um, so, Christine, can you please explain the difference between the wand pendant and the coil pendant as they both create a toroidal field? So, yes. So, where are the wands? Okay, so let's see. The coils. The coils that are wound all the way from top to bottom, they are creating that toroidal field, that tube torus, the true torus that goes both directions and it spins both directions. And so it's a true torus that the coils create. Now, when we have like the wand pendants, and I'm sorry I don't have one here to show you, but the wand pendants are more of a straight line at the beginning and then they coil up towards the end. And so just imagine basically looking at the physical between the wand pendant and the coil pendant is that the coil pendant is creating that bubble, that apple-shaped field, where the wand pendant is creating that, but yet it also exits, it also flows out. So the wand pendant is one that you can still utilize as like an empath filter, as a space to, create that filtration, that bubble around you that's not blocking, but it's discerning energies. So you can still receive the information, but not all the luggage, all the crap, the other people's stuff. But you can still receive the information, the understanding without entangling. And so that's the wand pendant too, is that it also creates that field for you to help you filter out those things and just to keep you in that in your light, in that space. Because again, these fields are all you. It is your light. All these newer fields, anything of the older was all about other energy and information that was in the field, like to help clear soul shards or to release entities or hold soul contracts or karma or activate your Merkaba or activate the sacred heart or, so many different attunements and activations and things like that. Where the new fields are purely you. It is your light and all that you are. And that's exciting. I mean, so all the beautiful miracles and magic that you may witness within these fields, it is all you, all you. These tools that we create are simply helping create that space where you connect with all that you are. Um, So, yeah, anyway, between the wands and the coils, it's just basically the coil pendant wand versus the coil. You can run energy with it. It has that exit out of that toroidal field. Um, and again, it's kind of a way to help you mentalize and kind of comprehend the flows of the field. You don't need the wand, you can use the coil, and you can use the coil, and you just use your radical imagination from the heart, without trying to add agendas and needs and desires and wants. It's just your pure imagination of sending that energy out. And so the coils, you can take that toroidal field and you can place it anywhere throughout time, space. You know, um, we have a guy who does a doctor of some flavor, who does distance work, and he's actually asking us to build a larger silver coil to do his work because he's using this one right now and has been since it came out, that he does distance work with his clients. And so I'm assuming he's just taking that field and moving it around the clients or inviting them in, whichever. So anyway, yeah, and then you get to the point where you really truly don't need the tools. You've tuned in, the fields, and it's just all you and your light. And yeah, so they're training wheels, still training wheels, just like all of our past tools have been training wheels, and also to help the mind really understand what's possible in this energetic world, helping to show you that energy is truly malleable. That's all physical reality is energy. And it's all yours, and it is malleable. Because, yeah, so when I've been getting entangled here over the past few weeks with everything, it's really been coming back to soul, coming back to presence, stepping into a different perspective. And I simply do that by saying, I exist as a soul. And so on a soul level, it doesn't get caught up in the trauma. It doesn't get into the entanglements. And it doesn't pattern your energy to bring lessons or understanding or completion of old echoes and old patterns. And it doesn't bring you into the loops of creation, the loops of old traumas, the emotional loops, the stories that keep coming up. And it's like, wow, that story again. And so many times we're not even aware of the old stories that play, but yet they affect who we are, because the stories are our identity. I grew up in this kind of a space, or I am this or I am that, and you received your identity through the reflections of other people. And so this whole new way of being is truly stepping into you claiming your field. And it's something that's, again, not a mentalized thing. It's just you really sitting in the heart, inviting in your light, and inviting in all that you are. And just making that statement to yourself, your soul, your energy, the universe, everything, that I claim my field. And all it means is that you are bringing that I exist, that awareness of the soul in that greater spectrum, that greater angel's peak view, or however you want to see it and say it, it's bringing in that presence, that I exist, I am here, and it smooths things out. And so as I was talking about how this week has just been tremendous for actually witnessing and seeing things. I mean, gosh, I've had a neighbor that we've had issues with for 6 years, and it's been one of those old stories where I think everything is good and clear, and then the story circulates back, and you start to feel those emotions, and then the thoughts come up about it and everything else, and it plays out scenarios. And yeah, this when I was able to really step into my presence, claim my field, shit, he came up into my yard with all of his dogs on Wednesday morning and shook my hand and talked for a while. I mean, it was grand, and so many different things shifted on Wednesday as I was able to be in that space throughout the whole day. I mean, everything from website stuff to insurance to all the business stuff realigned. Um, so when you truly can claim your field, which basically again means that I exist. So when you do this, I exist, and you step out of the turmoil, the trauma, the drama's in the details. I still want to get a bumper sticker that says that. The drama's in the details. And so we're talking about when you're looking at the human entanglement and you get caught in the details, and that's what entangles you more. And so being able to be in that space of I exist as a soul, it doesn't go into the drama, the details, because when the soul comes in, it brings the essence, it distills the essence of those experiences and brings it to wisdom. So the soul never gets entangled in anything, and it is always rejoicing no matter how deep or bad you feel your entanglements are. So the soul doesn't, it is always rejoicing no matter what you are doing. It doesn't judge good, bad, ugly, beautiful, otherwise. And so just knowing that when you step into the I exist, the perspective of the soul, it's not entangling. It's bringing its light, its joy to that entanglement. And as it does in real time, it begins to distill the wisdom from those things. And so in real time, you begin to release it all into wisdom. So anyway, that's really that whole concept. And it bypasses so many of the things that we've done throughout the years, like with the wisdom energetics for, having to go through and be conscious of your, just all the things that we've had to do. This is really a shortcut to it all, of the healing, the clearing, the release, the rebalance, the all the things. It is just truly you inviting in your light in all that you are. So yeah, I'll probably have to do a video meditation of this sometime, because using the floor plate is so phenomenal. I mean, because the space that it holds, I mean, all the tools hold that, the new light field energetic holds that space for you to really step into, all that you are. And like with the floor plate, you know, I've had probably 100 people on this, well, gosh, hundreds of people on this floor plate now. And when they stand there, and I don't, I've told this story before, when I don't get the goosebumps, I'll make them go stand back on there and truly invite in and allow in their light. And then, and your light is always there. It's your soul, your energy, your consciousness, your light. It is ever present, but it's kind of like the air we breathe that we can't really even notice it. And we just, so tuning into your field is tuning into your soul and all of your energy and all that you are. But anyway, back to the floor plate. When you stand on the floor plate and you invite in your awareness to all that you are, you also invite in all of the old parts, the traumatized, how I described it as the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, the traumatized, the healed. And when people are on that floor plate and they invite in all of that stuff, it does the work. And I tell you what we're doing is we're not doing the band-aids and trying to live with our limitations and all those things, We are getting to the core and the source of that creation, of that experience, of that pattern, of the old thoughts, the old limitations, all those things. We are getting to the core of these things and allowing them to go back to wisdom, to go into wisdom, to be released to the soul. So, anyway, pretty wild stuff. So, I just really wanted to share my experiences from this last week of, just really stepping in and claiming your light, claiming your field. And again, I'll probably do a video meditation on this and actually be able to hold the space for it. Um, so yeah, we have a lot of a lot of ideas as we move forward. We can't wait to get our affiliate program back again and things like that. Um, and moving forward, I really want to start doing more YouTube simple, short product videos, not only to be able to sell the products through YouTube, but also for those who are that need, for the instructional aspect of it too. Because we did do that for quite some time, a tool of the week. And, we really want to get back into that because, yeah, this whole thing with Twisted Sage and everything, it's in part of my path too. It's been releasing all the identity and all the things. And my God, did we release everything? We released Twisted Sage in a big way, but now we are reclaiming it in a new way. And that's the thing, is that we were, the whole Twisted Sage Studios was kind of stuck in a lot of these old patterns and loops and carrying so much extra baggage. And so it's a beautiful thing right now of everything that's occurred for us and not to us, so that we can shed and step into the new. So, um, and no, we do not have any conferences or events scheduled in November, the new. So, um, and no, we do not have any conferences or events scheduled in November at this time. I think the next actually event that I have, and I'm not sure if we'll even make it this year again, but on in LA is the Conscious Life Expo. And so, and that's in February. So I don't think we have anything coming up until February that's on the books. Besides this weekend, the Radionics convention. Um, let's see. Awesome, Christine. Yeah, it really is great to, and that's why we love it when people share their testimonials, is because, and then too, when I do share experiences like in the instructions on how to utilize and play with the tools, it helps you open up to other potentials and ideas to utilize these fields. Because we were told in the very beginning not to give instructions with our tools because that limits them so much. And so, even our descriptions over the years had kind of limited the tools, but yet we tried to balance that out by bringing in enough potentials and ideas and stories and uses with the tools that, hey, Malik, glad you're here this morning. And yay, happy Friday. So yeah, I don't know. It's moving forward again. Like I say, with Twisted Sage, and we're going to be moving forward in however newness that comes, because that's why everything has been occurring, is to really help us to shed and step into the new. I mean, I'm rewriting all the products, as we've been putting it onto the WordPress website, the Twistedsage.com. So again, we'll be at Twisted Sage Studios for a while longer. And again, we do have everything set up in place for being able to actually purchase from the website. It's nice and much more speedy. Confluence 2026 at Sovereignty Ranch, Bandera, Texas. Huh. Yeah, Renee, I tell you what, this has kind of been a new refound dream of mine to travel all over the world and go find all of these super high conscious little communities and events. I just had staying here in the studio last weekend, my good friends from Colombia, South America, and they talk about all down through there that there's all these little pockets of people, young people mostly, that in their 20s that are all gathering on land. You hear of Costa Rica a lot, but down there in the jungles, they really don't care what country they're in. They just move around, and so um, South America, the jungles and everywhere else, they're, in the mountains, they are building small communities in their giant conscious communities. And then people also are telling me about Shangri-La, the event in Minnesota, and how higher vibe that was. But anyway, point is, Renee, yes, I would love to start coming to more festival style of things, but not the old festivals, because I swore off of those because, yeah, and not going to a big party to hold sacred space and sell tools. And I really don't even really want to go and sell tools anymore. I just want to go set up sacred spaces in, in these places. And that in itself will sell tools and help support the endeavors of Twisted Sage. But anyway, Renee, thank you for that. And I will definitely look into that. Yeah, again, reinventing everything as we go forward. Just trying to step into the new and not drag any old luggage with us. So, anyway, thank you guys for all the support and for being here and for listening to me ramble. And I'm going to get off of here because I'm just rambling now. And again, claim your field. Know that it is all your energy and it is there serving you. And, it's truly that surrendering, that allowing, that just being and trusting and knowing that it is all your energy and it has always served you, even in the darkest, densest times and ways. It was still there in service to you. And so change your patterning of your energy, which is all the shit, all the echoes, the old traumas, the lifetimes, past, present, future. And as you do, your energy patterns differently. So, hey, Mark, loving the bait art coils. I know, they are fantastic. It's so amazing how it structures water. I put one on top of my water cooler, 5-gallon jug. I feel that. And some hours later, I can see all those micro bubbles. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, love that stuff. Yeah, Renee, definitely. I will certainly look into coming to Texas because, Texas has been hollering for me for several years. So it's probably time to make an adventure there. The only time I've been in Texas was 30 years ago, going across the border to get brickweed and bring it up to pay my college tuition. So never been down there when I've been aware and awake. Stephen, you probably gone over this. Is there any particular tool that helps with blockages? For some reason, last 3 weeks, something or someone seems to be the blocking my chakras. Yes. And so what is blocking your chakras is it's just the energies that are being released. And especially working with the chakras. Yes, Stephen, we talked about it. Actually, earlier we were talking about these beautiful new, fairly new, the practitioner rings, the 23-inch light field. Um, yeah, the 23-inch light field and the heavy duty, because here in the beginning of the show, I was talking about how we started to do entanglements, releasing them with the lighter gauge. But when they ran the heavier gauge over, it totally cleared to the source. So too, the practitioner rings for working with chakras has always been a big thing. I mean, because you can either have somebody run the ring for you, like down over my microphone here, like yay so, or you can just run it over yourself. But basically, as you run the practitioner rings over, you can feel and sense those chakras in the blocks. Even people who don't feel energy, because I'll take these to shows and I'll have people run them on each other. And as you run down, you'll feel like they'll just kind of stick and drag. And then you just move it up and down, take a deep breath, and it releases. And then two, when I was really into chakras and stuff, the practitioner rings were fantastic for working with chakras. But anymore, I just see the chakras as, in any issues that may occur with them, as just being the symptom and not the cause. And so when you run the rings, it clears the cause of the symptoms, not just the symptoms. Because that's what most modalities and tools and things do, is they address the symptoms and not the true root cause of the creation. And that is where working with your light is the only thing that can do it. So your light is the only thing that can clear those things. And so we just happen to make the tools that help you bring in the light to do that work. But yeah, Stephen, I would certainly suggest this beautiful 23-inch light field ring. It's pretty amazing on the untangling that it does. Now, we do have that lighter gauge, and that will still help, but I mean, this gets right to the core. The other, I was going to suggest, maybe some other alternatives, like the wand and things like that. But, usually when people ask me for what works best for tools, I've always reverted back to what was the most affordable versus what would truly work the best. And this is definitely what is presenting, for working with that, Stephen. Otherwise, I could suggest working with the Master's wand is a pretty good one, but I think you'll get quicker and better results with the large ring. So yeah, thank you guys for the questions and for the comments too. Mark, I really appreciate you talking about how you restructured your 5-gallon jug with that beta arc oil. And yeah, I tell you what, I'm still blown away by these tools and these fields and what they're doing every day. So I can't wait to get our testimonials page back too, because it is such a joy to read through those testimonials every day, because of the things that people are doing, how they're using the rings, and the shifts and changes that they perceive. And, it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. Hey, Yentl, good to see you, man. All right. Well, thank you guys again for being here, for the support in all the ways. And yeah, I look forward to moving forward in all the new ways too with everybody and everything here. So perhaps we'll see you on Halloween. All right. Take care, everyone.